Hi, good
Hi, good
afternoon,
afternoon,
everyone.
everyone.
My name
My
is
name is
Marie
Maria.
Chris D. Alfanta. And before I start discussing my topic, let me share to you this picture first. So, what is this picture all about? Right, very good. Yes, you are correct. The picture is all about the choices that we are going to make in our lives. All right. So, in connection with that, my topic is all about the strategies of teaching. There are plenty of strategies in teaching English, but first, what is the importance of teaching strategy in the classroom? So, as we all know, the effective use of teaching strategies brings positive learning outcomes to the students. It can boost students' motivation and will make lessons interactive and relevant for the student success. And before we unpack the strategies in teaching English, let me share to you these objectives first. Alright, our first objective is all about at the end of the topic, we will be able to enhance the student engagement through interactive learning activities. Second, we can also foster student learning, critical thinking, and personal growth. And the third one is we will be able to create a vibrant classroom atmosphere to captivate the students' interest. Alright, so now let's unpack the first strategy of teaching English. First is the association with paintings or photos. What is the role of paintings or photos in teaching and learning process? Alright, so the role first, it can enhance visual perception as it will allow the students to observe the details and understand the visual composition effectively. And second, we have language development. So for language development, this will encourage the students, or the picture can encourage the students to describe and discuss the images. And looking at the images, it encourages students to talk about what they see, improving their communication skills and vocabulary. Then we have also critical thinking. For critical thinking, as students interpret visual information, they can make connections and draw conclusions, and it will also stimulate their critical thinking. Then we have memory retention. For memory retention, it will create a more lasting impression in students' minds because images leave a strong impression in their minds compared to just reading a text. Then lastly, we also have creativity boost. So the picture or the paintings will encourage the students to express themselves artistically and think creatively. So photos and paintings evoke emotions as it can spark our imagination, the student's imagination, and will also encourage the student to interpret and analyze visual information. Now, these are the typical questioning when associating paintings and photos in the classroom teaching. First question is the observation question. So you can ask the student, what do you see in this picture? Or how do you feel when you look at the picture? So you have to encourage the students to describe what they see in the picture, focusing on the details, colors, and shapes. Then we have the interpretation questions. For interpretation questions, you can ask them like, what do you think this picture is trying to convey? Or what message or story do you think the artist is expressing? So prompt students to interpret the meaning of the message conveyed by asking these questions. Then we have the third typical question, which involves the connection questions. So you may ask the students, how does this picture make you feel? Or can you relate any personal experiences or memories to what you see? So ask the students to relate the picture into their own experiences, emotions, or prior knowledge. Then we have comparison questions. For comparison questions, you can ask the students like, Can you tell me how this photo is different from the other one we discussed? Or how is this picture similar to or different from another artwork you have seen? Alright, so by asking this kind of questions, you encourage the students to compare and contrast different elements in the picture or compare it to another artwork. Then, next is we have the evaluation questions. For evaluation question, you can ask the students, how would you rate the overall impact of this painting on you? And in your opinion, how well does this photograph capture its intended meaning? So in evaluation questions, you have to challenge the students to express their opinions. Then we have the reflection question. Examples of reflection questions are, how does this painting relate to your personal experiences or feelings? Or you may also ask them, if you were to step inside this picture, what would you see, hear, or feel? Right? So by asking some reflection questions, you can encourage the students to analyze their personal connections to the artwork. Or you can also bring questions to their mind if what is the intended message of the author or of the painter of this kind of picture. Alright, so the artist they will be able to, or the picture will be able to reach the students on how they can reflect on the visual content that is related to their own experiences. Then we have the application questions. For application questions, you may ask, in what ways could you use the ideas from this painting in your everyday life? Or you can also ask this question, how do you see the ideas in this picture being relevant in today's world? So by asking them these kinds of questions, it will allow them to make meaningful connections, like they will be able to relate to their real life experiences. Those are the typical questioning when associating paintings and photos in the classroom teaching. Next is we have some notes in associating paintings and photos in the classroom. We have to take note of this one as a teacher. First, we should not provide closure because letting students explore ideas freely helps them think creatively and develop critical thinking skills. Also, you have to accept the child's perception. Respecting each student's view encourages creativity and inclusivity in the classroom. Then we have used child responses as a catalyst for questioning. Right? So using the children or using the students' thoughts as a starting point, it encouraged them some engagement and personal learning. Then we also have provide positive feedback. So if the teacher feels that the child is wrong, he or she must remember that the child may be right in a light of his or her experiences. And also do not forget, praising students will boost their confidence and motivates their active participation. Also, we have number 5 here. Ask easy questions to reluctant students. Alright, so starting with easy questions, it will help shy students feel more comfortable and gradually participate more. So if they find that they can be right for a change, then they will gradually take the bigger and bigger risks in answering and sharing their ideas about the picture. We also have, don't be afraid of stimulating, challenging, even difficult questions. So as a teacher, we should be prepared for some unexpected or surprising answers and not to rush to give definitive correct answer. So sometimes the unexpected answer could be right. So it is essential to be open to different perspectives and not exist only one correct solution. And lastly, you have to post the picture. or we have to post the picture. So after being used, or after the picture is used in the lesson, the image should be posted, because if their interest has been aroused, it will let them take time to take closer look, thus reinforcing the concepts of the lesson. There are also advantages and disadvantages when associating paintings and photos in teaching English. According to Hoplova in 2009, first advantage is it is available everywhere. So why? Because we can collect it from books, newspapers, etc. It is also inexpensive, because as it is said that we can get it from any magazines, internet, and sometimes or oftentimes it is free. Then it is also flexible. Why it is flexible? Because it can be easily kept, useful for various types of activities such as drill, comparing, and many others. And lastly, Hoplova also says that associating paintings and photos in teaching English is fresh and different. Why? Because they come in various formats and style, and the learner often wonders what will come next. And these are also the disadvantages of associating paintings and photos in teaching English. In 2014, Al-Jafari said that associating paintings and photos in teaching English can be time-consuming, because analyzing artworks may consume valuable lesson time, impacting coverage of other essential content. It can also cause varying interpretation, because small and clear pictures may arouse problems, because students may misunderstand the picture. Then, Al-Jafari also said that paintings and photos can cause subjectivity, because it is challenging to establish uniform criteria and grading, as different students may have varying interpretations of the same artwork. So we have to acknowledge the diverse perspective of the students upon using some paintings and photos in teaching. So how can educators effectively integrate paintings and photos into lessons? So here, these are the effective implementation of paintings and photos into the lessons. First, we have to set clear objectives to outline the learning goals of using visual images. Second, we should also carefully select artworks that are relevant into the lesson. Then, facilitate. As a teacher, we have to facilitate discussion and use guided questions. And with that, we can assess the learning outcomes through discussions, presentations, or project based on the art, as it will evaluate students' comprehension and engagement. So always remember that in associating paintings and photos, there is a saying of Albert Einstein that says, "One picture is worth 1,000 words." Next is another teaching strategy in teaching English, and that is a debate. So what is a debate? According to Sanchez in 2014, a debate is an exchange of arguments between two teams or individuals. It is also used to teach and perform the approach to a certain topic from different points of view. As it is said, a formal method of presenting arguments in support and against a given issue, in which debaters present reasons and evidence to persuade an audience or a group of judges. So the role of a debate are: first, enhances critical thinking skills. Second, it will also improve communication skills. Then, it will also promote collaboration and teamwork, cultivates confidence, and boosts creativity. So in incorporating debate into the curriculum, you have to remember first the debate format. So there are plenty of debate format. You have to discuss this first to the students before incorporating the debate into the curriculum. So one of these are Lincoln Douglas debate, in which this is a kind of debate that argues in favor of a resolution while the other opposes. It focuses on ethical and philosophical topics, emphasizing logic and values. And another example of a debate format is parliamentary debate. So this kind of debate commonly used in academic settings, and it involves teams of debaters presenting arguments from or presenting arguments for against a motion within a limited time frame. It encourages quick thinking and adaptability. So those are some debate formats. Then, in incorporating debate into the curriculum, you have also to consider the debate topics. So selecting debate topics is important as it shapes the direction of the discussion. It should be relevant to stimulate the interest in the topic. For example, integration of technology in the classroom. So you can ask this topic, or you can select this kind of topic if should technology be integrated in all aspects of education to enhance learning. So that is some of the examples in selecting debate topics. Then we also have to know the structure in debate sessions. Why? Because it is important to establish clear rules, time limits, and rules for debate sessions to ensure organization and effective coordination among students. Alright, so this is a sample on how to structure a debate. First is an introduction of the topic. So each team will be given 3 minutes to introduce the topic. Then, they will also be given 3 minutes for their argument. For example, in round 1, Team 1 will be given 3 minutes to present their argument, if they are the pro or positive, or the arguments for. Then the Team 2, they will also be given 3 minutes to present their topic, which is the con, negative, or arguments against. Then after that, they will be given a time period of 5 minutes. That is for team discussion. So this period is used for teams to prepare their responses. And then round 2 will begin. Each team will again be given 3 minutes for the response or rebuttal and the closing statement. So again, each team will be given 3 minutes for their closing statement. This might include additional rebuttal statements. However, debate has also its downsides. Why? It's because according to Binoy in 1983, Tannen in 1988, Rock in 1986, and Walker in 1991, a debate can create a negative interpersonal or emotional qualities. So since arguing requires open disagreement, students may associate it with negative interpersonal or emotional qualities like hostility and fighting. And the second one, it can also create a competitive environment. That is according to Mayers, Brushers, Winston, and Grove in 1997. Why it can create a competitive environment? Because some students may find the competitive nature of this specific form of arguing debate to be intimidating or silencing. In particular, gender differences in argumentation styles. Therefore, it is very important to consider your topic. You have to be very careful in selecting the topic of the debate. Sometimes it can get heated that it deteriorates into an argument, right? So that's why, as a facilitator of a debate, we should always prepare a plan in place if the debate gets hot and the students argues. Right, so in implementing a debate, or how are we going to implement the debate into lessons? First, and this is always that we should always consider, or we should always think first, that we have to align the topics with the learning objectives. We should also provide a clear guidelines and rules for the debate. We have to encourage the students for an active participation, as this can stimulate their critical thinking. And as a facilitator, we have to provide feedback and reflection, as open opportunities or area of opportunities after the debate. So let me leave or let me end the topic with this quote that it's not about winning or losing, it's about learning and getting better. So thank you so much. Those are some of the strategies in teaching English, and we can use those strategies in incorporating it into our lessons. Once again, this has been Marie Christie Alpanta. Thank you very much and good afternoon.